So many people ask me, how is it that I can file for divorce in New York without draining my bank account, without going broke, and maybe even without hiring an attorney? Well, guess what? If you've been thinking that, you are not alone. I'm a divorce attorney. This is not legal advice. And I have seen far too many people literally go bankrupt just getting divorced, having to drain their accounts, having to take out loans, having to borrow money from family members just to do the simple process, not the negotiation, just the simple process of getting divorced. If that sounds like you and you want more information on it, stick around because I'm going to talk to you about the reasons why court is so expensive. And next week, we're going to do a step by step on how you can do it without draining your bank. Number one, there are filing fees when it comes to getting divorced. The court requires you to step inside the courthouse and pay for those filing fees. In the grand scheme of things, it's not that much money. I'm not diminishing how much money it does actually cost. Everything costs money. Money is a pain point for everyone nowadays. However, in the grand scheme of things, the filing fee that you have to pay to the court is not that expensive when you compare it to how much you're going to have to pay for your attorney. Those retainer amounts are going to be astronomical sometimes. What if you have to have another expert? What if you need an attorney for the children? That's going to cost more money. What if you have to have any type of evaluation, whether it's a psychological or a financial evaluator? Tremendous amount of money. You have to pay your attorney or other experts to do depositions, to do discovery, to get financial disclosure, to start reviewing everything. A lot of money. It adds up so quickly, more than you ever think. And not only do people often underestimate how much that's going to cost, they also underestimate the other costs. Time that you lose at work, time you have to travel, expenses for childcare. All of these other things add up when you have to take time, take money, and take energy and put it into divorce litigation. It can be astronomically expensive. I have known people who have gotten divorced who had to go and borrow money from their family members because they already drained their bank accounts. They already wiped out all of their credit cards, and now they have no choice but to go and ask family members for money. And this is all in the hopes that maybe they're going to be able to settle everything and at the end pay everyone back. But we all know there's no guarantees when it comes to that. Another pain point is there are so many forms, so many documents, so much legal jargon that is getting tossed around, whether it's with your attorneys, whether it's when you're in the courthouse and you hear the judge saying certain things. It is not regular everyday speak. We as attorneys use this language because we have been trained in it, and the language means something within the realm of divorce litigation. In your world, in the everyday world, it means very little. But there is so much confusion when it comes to the court rules, when it comes to legal terms, when it comes to the actual agreement that's being put on the record. When you're talking about creating an agreement that the both of you are going to sign off on and have to live by the terms of, if you're being asked to do it right there in the courthouse, that can be very overwhelming. And even with an attorney, sometimes you don't know. Can I say yes? Can I say no? Can I say I need more time? It seems like I should be understanding this because the judge is speaking to me and saying, you understand this, don't you? What else are you supposed to say? And that is really important because you don't want to miss anything. There is a real fear of the judges and the authority and sort of the space that you're in. However, if you sign off on anything, and if you don't fully understand it, you will still be bound by it, meaning that you are going to be required to live by those terms, even if you sign it and you don't understand what it means. And because of that emotional overload that you're feeling in the courthouse, there are so many times when mistakes get made. I have seen it far too many times where people pick up the pen, they put it down on the paper, and then later on they say, oh my goodness, what did I agree to? Why did you as my attorney tell me that I could agree to that? Because at the end of the day, the decision is up to you, unless you're going to trial. But when the judge puts pressure on you or the courthouse puts pressure on you, your attorneys put this pressure on you, you're so emotionally charged that you are bound to make decisions that you don't fully understand. And that decision could be a mistake for you, for your children, and for your entire future. And the reality is, once things escalate to a certain point in court, it's completely out of your hands. So taking that step back and saying, wow, I need a minute is essential. There is a real frustration when it comes to being stuck in divorce court in New York because it is not built for families. That's just the truth. The court system is designed and built for people who are butting heads, who are not getting along, who cannot agree. And now while you and your soon-to-be ex might not be able to agree on certain things, the one thing that I think you should both be able to agree on is Being in court, dragging this out, wasting time, money, and energy is something that's not going to serve either one of you. It's certainly not going to save your finances, and it's not going to serve your children. That loss of control is real, but you do have a way to take back your control, even if you're in the courthouse. I don't suggest you go to court. Do not litigate your divorce. And lastly, the issue that I see so many times is that even when people agree, meaning they just have a few things to work out, but they generally agree on the terms of how it is they're going to divide their assets, how it is they're going to work out support, maybe even custody, and they just need that fine tuning. Once you are now entered into this litigation model in the court system, all of those agreements, everything that you had nicely bundled and packaged because the two of you are getting along, is completely shot. That's thrown out the window. You know why? Because the courthouse is designed for fighting. And as soon as that fighting starts, that's when your emotions take over, and that's when you cannot see things clearly and you cannot see the path forward because you are so embroiled in the fight. So what's the good news? You do not have to stay in the dark. There is a way for you to file for divorce and move forward with divorce even without hiring an attorney. And I know this will not be very popular with attorneys. However, I always suggest that you get your agreements reviewed so that you fully understand what they are, what they mean, what the ramifications are for the future. However, if the two of you agree and you have everything reviewed, you can file it on your own. Again, this isn't a very popular subject that attorneys like to hear people talk about. But the truth is, you don't need an attorney to file your documents. You don't ever have to go to court, only your paperwork does. And if you cannot afford an attorney to file it, guess what? I have you covered. Next week, I am going to break down exactly how it is that you can complete certain forms, how it is that you can get them filed, and how it is that you can do it in an uncontested manner, which means you're not intending to fight this out. Think about how much time and money that can save you if the two of you can come to a resolution and you can walk into a courthouse, or you can do it electronically and you can file this on your own. Make sure to hit like, subscribe, and share this with anyone else who might be in the same predicament, who needs to get divorced, but they can't necessarily afford to plunk $10,000 down for one attorney, $10,000 down for another attorney, and try to fight this out in court. The decision to get divorced is hard enough. The actual process does not have to be. Divorce should never break you financially or emotionally. Thank you again for joining me today on The Divorce Den. As you can tell, I am very passionate about educating and informing people about their rights and how it is that you can move forward when it comes to getting divorced in New York. I look forward to seeing everyone next week when we take a deeper dive into exactly how you can do it step by step.